Okay, we have the Philadelphia Eagles lost today. They had 13. The Browns had 22. Then other game that was on earlier, you had the Carolina Panthers. They had 3, and the Texans had 20. Okay. The um, the Miami Dolphins had 24. The Lions had 17 that game, and you had the Patriots. They had 20. The Vikings had 12. So in the preseason, the New England Patriots are 2-0. Okay. Um, right now, San Francisco 49ers playing the Raiders. They both kicked field goals. Tonight is the Chargers versus the Rams at 7 o'clock. Then the Buccaneers versus the Steelers tonight at 7 o'clock, and the Jets versus the Giants tonight at 7 o'clock. And then you have the Ravens playing the Dallas Cowboys at 7 o'clock. 9:30 had the Denver Broncos playing the Cardinals. And then Sunday you have the Jacksonville Jaguars playing the Saints. And then tomorrow you have the Buffalo Bills playing the Cleveland Browns. And then you have the Bengals playing Monday Night Football preseason game against the Commanders. Okay, so week 4, week 4, your third preseason game you're gonna have on Thursday, July 21st. You're gonna have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Carolina Panthers. You're gonna have a Super Bowl rematch, New England Patriots versus the Giants. The Patriots are 2-0 in the preseason. You're gonna have the Eagles versus the Jets. Jets, that's on Friday. Then you're gonna have the Falcons versus the Cowboys. Then you're gonna have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans. The Bears versus the Chiefs, and the um, Ravens versus the Commanders. That's 12 o'clock. That's Saturday. And then you had the Denver Broncos playing Sean Payton's old team at 1 o'clock. That's a Saturday. And then Saturday, you have the Rams versus the Browns. And then you're going to have the Colts versus the Bengals at 1 o'clock. Then you're going to have the Texans versus the Lions at 1 o'clock. Then you're going to have Seattle versus the Packers. Seattle Seahawks versus the Packers. That's going to be interesting. And then you're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins at 7 o'clock. And then you're going to have the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Saturday at 7:30. And then you're going to have the Chargers and the Super Bowl rematch against San Francisco at 8:30. And then you're going to have the Raiders playing the Cardinals at 10 o'clock. And then week 1, You're going to have the Dallas Cowboys versus, that's Thursday, September 4th at 8:20. And then at Friday, you're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. But let me get back to this game here, to the games. Right now, the game is tied with the Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. That game was tied at in the second quarter, 3-3. Um, you had earlier. You had the Carolina Panthers had 3. The Texans had 20. The Eagles lost their first preseason game today. The Browns had 22. The Eagles had 13. Okay. The Miami Dolphins had 24, and the Lions had 17. Like I said, the Patriots are undefeated. The Patriots in preseason is undefeated. They had 20. The Minnesota Vikings had 12. A close game here in the preseason. You had the Packers had 23, and the Colts had 19. The earlier games yesterday, if you missed it, my Chiefs got embarrassed. Their offense looked good, but we need to find a way to get a W. The Chiefs had 16. The Seattle Seahawks had 33. The Tennessee Titans had 23 yesterday, and the Falcons had 20. So what do you guys think? I think that when you're playing a team, I don't think you should scrimmage them and then have to play a preseason game with them. I was looking forward to see Shador Sanders play, but they put in the other quarterback, the other rookie quarterback that they drafted, and he looked good. Um, right now, if you want to see San Francisco and the Raiders, they on, check your local listing, and the Rams and the Chargers play tonight, 7 o'clock. And then you can watch Pittsburgh on your local TV, Pittsburgh and the Buccaneers. And then you can see the Giants versus the Jets at 7 o'clock. Then you can watch the Baltimore Ravens, if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, against the Dallas Cowboys at 7. And then at 9:30, you can see the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals go head to head with each other. Sorry about that, y'all. So what do you guys think? It's only preseason. I mean, yes, you would like your team to win. Yes, you don't like the outcomes of the games. Yes, you would like your team to play a little bit faster. Yes, it happens. Even in the preseason, everybody's going to give you their best. I seen highlights of the Seattle Seahawks really celebrating, taking the Chiefs in the preseason to the woodshed. But the Eagles lost today. Um, at first it was tight. The backup quarterbacks looked all right. The Eagles played. Didn't I think they didn't play? They played their third quarterback, but they looked all right. I mean, they had nice drives. They got down the field. They got down the field and they moved the ball well. Um, they had a nice drive. Don't get me wrong. I mean, these two teams scrimmaged each other. So I mean, they're gonna know what you like to do, and that's why certain coaches in the NFL don't like doing these scrimmages games. So, what do you guys think? Now, I know some of you Eagles fans don't have a conniption fit. It was a preseason game, for God's sakes. Don't be like, oh, no. I know was upset, and then I had to think about it. It's not the regular season, it's preseason. So don't be upset about it. It's just preseason. You know how some teams start. You remember years ago, the before they was the Commanders, they was the Washington Redskins. They was 4-0 in the preseason, and then the bottom fell out. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Yes, the New England Patriots look impressive in the preseason, but how are they going to look when the real season starts? Okay, that's my thing. The New York Jets play tonight. I want to see how they're going to look. Um, Defensive wise, they play the New York Jets. They look good in preseason, but it's preseason. Everybody is not going to show you their ultimate best. Um, in preseason, it's really preseason football is really for the second time people to see if they're gonna make the team. And other news, other football news, I'm gonna give it to you. I don't know when Rashid Rice is gonna be suspended. He has a hearing in New York, September 30th. That's on a Tuesday. He's going to be able to play week 1 and week 2, all the way up to September. Um, they got to go and fly, probably leave after this preseason game, get their body acclimated to playing in Brazil. A lot of people forget last time a team played in Brazil, won a football game in Brazil, they won the NFL championship. And that was the Philadelphia Eagles when they went to Brazil. So the Chiefs will be in Brazil. I hope some of that magic rubs off on them and they can shut the enemy's mouth. So what do you guys think? The Eagles preseason game wasn't bad. It was two teams that played each other in a scrimmage and knew everything about each other. Knew what defense, how their team's offense, sorry, how their team's offense was going to, how their team offense was going to play, and how they was going to react. So sorry, y'all. How the team's defense was going to react and how they was going to respond. Um, I really tonight. I'm really want to check out these other games. I'm going to see what the Jets look like. That was my cousin's favorite football team, the New York Jets. So I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check them out. They come out 3 hours from now. Sorry, y'all. Yes, you see a shoulder, um, and stuff like that. But yeah, the New York Jets will be playing tonight. There's a game on now. Let me check the score for y'all while I go. And then tomorrow will be the Saints and Jacksonville playing each other. And The Bears will be playing the Bills, and then the Commanders playing the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday night. Right now, I know it's still 3-3. So right now it's 3-3. So if you're looking for some, it's MMA and boxing on. If you're not into football, and then you got the Phillies versus the Washington Nationals, Red Sox. They playing baseball. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. But don't be mad. Well, don't be mad, Eagles fans. Don't be mad. I mean, I can at least show my arms, but say hi to everybody. Um, that's the only thing I have to say. Eagles they lost today, but it's preseason. And if they was handing out a preseason Super Bowl trophy, I think a lot of teams would be playing harder. All right, guys, love you. Bye. Subscribe.